I'm live. Hey, this is really funny. I got banned on Facebook for 30 some days. Oh, big deal. Big deal. I'm 65 years old. I didn't grow up using Facebook. I didn't really grow up using social media. All right. I'm pretty tech savvy for an old man. All right. Might not know how to code, but I can take this computer apart and put it back together correctly, and I can probably run some of the software correctly and fix it. So, you know, it's really funny, man. This is all you guys still working at Facebook, Google, YouTube, still working. Get the two words, still working are the key terms here. Okay. The more people that abandon your platform for other platforms, the less work you have to do. Then you get taken over by AI and then you're out on the street. I guarantee you, none of you would survive being homeless. None of you. None of you. There might be maybe a small percentage a small percentage that might survive. Okay, the ones that got a pair, you know, male or female. But we all got pairs, male and females. You got a pair, you know. I'm laughing at this because it really doesn't matter to me, man. You know, if the internet goes down, I got freaking movies and shit to watch on the computer. Okay, I mean, I can read a book. I could do some drawing, man. Buy an easel and start drawing again. Some of you youngsters, you would know what to do if this went down. You'd either shit or go blind. I'm laughing, man. I'm seriously laughing about this because it's fucking funny. It's really funny. It's hilarious, man. All of us with common sense. That goes from Gen Z all the way to fucking boomers and whoever Gen Alpha got some common sense at your age. We're laughing at you guys, man. You are a small percentage of this country, a tiny, tiny percentage right now. Everybody's turning against you. Everybody's doing the FJB right now. Palestinian people are doing it, and the Trump people are FJB. Man, you got the country aligned against Joe Biden right now. And if you're for that moron in office, get ready for buckle up, Buttercup. Because when Trump comes back in, a lot of you guys are going to go bye bye. Okay, seriously. There's. I mean, everybody puts down the Q and the anons, Q and the anons, not QAnon, Q and the anons. Everything that came out on the Q boards from 2017 until 2020 is happening right now. Yeah, it was portrayed as something else back then, but the similarities are too damn. There's too many coincidences for this not to be something that's real. There's only so much. It's statistically impossible for everything to be a coincidence. Statistically impossible. This is fucking. This is tobacco, people. Okay, I won't smoke that often in front of you guys. Okay, because I don't. If kids are watching this, I don't want. It's your choice when you become 18, but before 18, I wouldn't touch any of this stuff. Tobacco, this, uh, uh, alcohol. I wouldn't touch none of that stuff until you turn 18. Seriously, you can do whatever the hell else you want, but don't touch none of the herbage and the drugs and the alcohol. I say herbage because it's separated from the hard drugs, man. All this crap about marijuana being bad. I've been smoking it for since I was 14. That's what 51 years, and I'm cognitively aware. I got senior brain at 65, but before that, I was sharp as a tack. 65, I got senior brain creeping in. Get slower in the head, get slower to bring the ROM to the RAM. Yeah, that's how I look at my brain. Everything that isn't coming out of my mouth is in the ROM. Everything that's coming out of here is in RAM. Okay, so a RAM, between a RAM and a ROM, that software is slowing down. It's because of age. But like I said, anybody from Gen Alpha all the way to the boomers that got common sense, we're separating from your dumb asses, man. We don't want to have nothing to do with you. Soon as so YouTube is going to be a second rate to Rumble, guarantee it. Facebook is going to be second rate to Truth Social and other platforms. Google, you're going to go down to the Brave browser and other browsers that are out there. You're going to lose all your power, man. You already are. You're laying people off. Instead of the bigwigs at the top taking a pay cut to employ you guys, you know, that's real capitalism, man. That's real capitalism. They want your company to survive with the amount of people that they have to get the work done. You take a pay cut at the top and you bring it back down and you pay the people what you're supposed to be paying them. These corporate CEOs are not, they're crony capitalists. They're crony capitalists. Okay, that's why in the 80s, that's what started the millionaire CEO, man. Before that, there were very few millionaire CEOs that did not own the company. Notice I put that in, that did not own the company. Okay? Most of the company owners became millionaires because they own a freaking company, man. They're the CEO. They own a company. They pay themselves what they want. But when you bring someone in to be the CEO, that person should get paid a smaller salary than anybody that's a CEO right now. See, the people in the power are going to lay your ass off to keep their paychecks. That's the truth, man. You're the bottom line. A good CEO would take a pay cut, drop some of the salary down there, maybe pay some of the, drop the money down to pay your medical or your retirement. These guys walk around way multi-billionaires, some of them, man. Now, Trump, he owns the company. He's the CEO. Okay, he's got little subordinate companies underneath him, but he's the main man. Same with Elon Musk. Every company he underneath him has CEOs, but he's the main man. He's the one raking in all the bucks. Because as it should be, man. He's the company owner. When you ban people like me to keep telling you this stuff, you're just you're shooting yourself in the foot. We're trying to tell you this stuff, and you're banning us because they don't want you to hear what we have to say. And eventually you're going to be in the unemployment line, and they're still collecting $1 million a year. It's funny, man. Okay, I'm retired. I don't care, man. I mean, I'm just kicking back on my SSI. All right. All right. That's something I worked for 30 years of my freaking life. Probably more than that. And Section 8, I paid into this shit for 30 some years. Okay. Now, if these mega corporations that own all this property would quit taking 1,000% profit and gouging people for a place to live, which is pretty much a human right. I'm not saying you shouldn't pay for it, man. I'm not. But when you're making 1,000% profit off a rental property, there's something wrong with the owner, not the person renting. The owner's being fucking greedy. Now, if you got a company that makes cars or something like that, I mean that's a luxury. You can get around on a bus and a bike. I do it. I get around in my wheelchair. Okay, I take the bus. Even when I had two legs, I took the bus, man. We're gonna fight traffic. Okay, or I walked. It was close enough. I walked. And I see people out here driving 3 blocks to the fucking store. Okay. I lived on 4th Street, and I lived on 2nd Street, and I had to walk all the way up here to 8th Street, basically 7th Street, to get my groceries. I walked $200 worth of groceries back in my arms for the exercise. Yeah, I had to put them down every once in a while, but yeah, that's the problem, man. Now, if I was going somewhere, I'd probably have to take a train or a bus or a plane. I don't care. If I'm in a foreign country, man, I'm gonna be taking taxis anyways, man, or walking. If I go to another city, I'm gonna be walking. I'm not gonna go very far from where I live. If I go to visit someone, I'm hoping that they take me around and we go hang out and party. I'll just put the bill. I'll put money in for gas. I mean, shit. It's not like I'm poor. I'm very happy where I'm content. I'll put it that way. I might not always be happy, but I'm content. There's a difference between being content and being happy. You can be content, be angry. You know, angry at the system. I mean, I saw someone in the comments section saying that Americans got Stockholm syndrome. We do. We do. We get these idiots at the top controlling our lives and crapping all over us and pissing all over us and calling it rain, and we're smiling and accepting it. You guys that work on the other side of this camera that work for these agencies, you're complicit in all this. You're part of what's going on with me, and you're smiling and accepting the fact that the people above you are doing it to me, and they're eventually going to do it to you. You're just a pawn. These people don't give a shit about us. They don't, man. And I say us, man. I mean the other people that work here. I'm talking to you guys, man. They don't give a shit about us. If you haven't figured that out yet, you're dense, man. If everybody at Google and all Facebook and walked off the job and said, "Fuck you, man. We're tired of your bullshit," these people at the top, they'd shit. They'd have a baby, man. Then you'd see men having fucking babies because they wouldn't have no way to make an income. Well, how do you think unions started, man? They've been taken over. There's nothing wrong with the union. Okay, I agree with unionization because it keeps the corporations in check. When the government doesn't do it, the unions do it. The government's supposed to keep these organizations in check. They're supposed to listen to us, not listen to the people that run these organizations and these companies. That's called fascism. I'm 65 years old, and since I've been on the internet, which is like the whole life of the internet, I watched the internet go from a fountain of information to being regulated, segregated, and censored. And then they turn around and try to tell you the history they want you to hear. Why do you think they banned the book 1984, Fahrenheit 451? Why do you think they banned those books, man? Because they describe what they're doing right now, man. And then they got you turn it against us who wasn't raised on this technology and know how to operate outside of this technology. They're trying to turn you against your because they know we're the rock solid part of this foundation. The elders and families, man. The generation, the elders and the family. Those are the wisdom, and the family is the future of the generation. Look at the Indian tribe. Go to an Asian country and try to insult an old lady over there. You'll get your ass whooped by the young people, man. They will be the younger generation will beat you up for it. Seriously, man, I've been over there. I was in China in 2003. You don't mess with an old person in these countries, man. The government might not like them, but the people will defend them, man. Asian countries are family oriented. Why do you think the Asian community comes over here and they do so well? Because they have a community. They have a family-based community. Half you guys that work here, guarantee you don't have a dad. If you do, he's not you know, if you do, you're either rebellious and he was a good man, or he's a wimp. I don't mean that insultingly, man. Well, yeah, I do, kind of. I think a man that bends down and lets his family get overrun is not a man, even if it's by his own fucking wife. All right, I bumped heads with my wife all the time about power struggles in the family. I looked at her as my equal, man, because I went to work and busted my ass, and she stayed at home and busted her ass. But when she started overspending money, I had a problem with that, man. I wanted to save and get a house. That's where the problems came in. Financial shit. Then the cheating started. You see what I'm saying? At least on my end, that's when the cheating started. When all the financial stuff, I said, "Fuck it, man. This woman don't want a family." I said, "Find someone else." You know, I'm a Christian now, and I know that was wrong. But back then, I wasn't a Christian, man. I was agnostic. Now I'm gonna smoke some of this because I'm in pain right now. I got a lot of physical pain going on. And I do not like to take freaking pharmaceuticals, man. Look up the word pharmakia. It's actually a biblical term, and they compare it to sorcery. Okay, it's a way to bend someone's mind to your will. Now, I don't consider this a drug. I consider this an herb. This is a plant, just like coca is a plant, like the poppy is a plant. Those are meant for medicinal purposes, man. They're not meant to be refined and have you put your fingers in them and all. And when man puts his fingers in nature's pie, he fucks it up. Nature's run perfectly by itself, man. Now I'm not talking about climate change and all that crap. That's a bunch of BS. I've been waiting for the ice age since the 70s. You look that up. I'm waiting for the acid rain. I'm waiting for the ozone layer to break again. It repaired itself. And they had put in mouth with that one because within 6, 7 months or a year, they started talking about the depletion of the ozone layer. The shit was repairing itself. You look that up too, man. I don't give a shit. They try to bury all this stuff. You have to actually look. You can go to the library and look up books, look up past newspapers, man. Go to the yeah. Half you guys don't even know how to use a index card index or a microfiche library. You don't know how to use that. You're too easy looking it up right here. What happens when this shit goes down, man? It's gonna go down, man. They're gonna do everything they can to keep Trump out of office, man. They're already showing you that, man. They're already showing you that. I support the person that's gonna give me the best life. And under Trump, I was paying less for my food. Okay, I could probably afford another computer, which I do need. Okay, because I'm paying less for my food. I'm paying less for things, man. I mean, you hear all you young people crying about this stuff, and yet you're still looking at this guy in office like you're still looking at Trump like he's the bad guy, man. I think it's finally sinking in that hey, he was the good guy, and the bad guys were trying to make him look bad. You don't think that happens, man? You watch movies all the time, and you see the bad guys always try to make the good guy look bad, no matter how he does it, physically, emotionally, politically, publicly. That's all the way it happens, man. But it takes a long time for you to figure out they're doing it like that. Like I said, all you people at Facebook, Google, YouTube, your jobs are going to be gone out the door, man. You're going along with the shit that's going to lose you your job. Because eventually they're going to have you program an AI and you're going to be out the door. And that's already starting to happen. I'm seeing AI pop up everywhere. All right. And you SAG people that signed this contract, they were trying to get rid of your asses. The Writers Guild, too. They were trying to get rid of all your woke asses, man. They're losing money. They're losing money. This is a capitalistic system. This isn't a communist, socialist, or how whatever, Nazi or whatever. The system is not that way. The system is capitalist, man. You work for your merits, man. You get what you pay for. You get what you work for. I never sat out there and panhandled. I might have panhandled 1 or 2 times when I was homeless. Most of the time I had work. I had money in my pocket. Okay? I had money in my pocket. I didn't panhandle either. I worked for it. I earned it. That's being homeless. They did that, man. I should be, if I didn't lose my leg, I'd be working right now. Probably not, because I'd probably be going into Pixar or something and get laid off. Because all you woke idiots are destroying the entertainment industry. And you can try to cancel people all you want, but eventually these people at the head of these companies, man, they're either going to fire everybody and start over again, or they're going to get replaced. I get a feeling when Trump gets in office, a lot of these people are going to be found out to be friends of Epstein and P. Diddy and Weinstein. They're all buddies at the top. They all buddies at the, and you know what? You can count Trump or whatever you want. Trump was part of the club, but he didn't participate in the circus, man. That's the circus you see. You're seeing the circus, right? The clowns are out here right now, man. And it's starting to become known, man. I mean, 4 years after, Pedo Pete got elected. Yeah, that's what he's called in Hunter's laptop, Pedo Pete. 4 years after this guy gets elected, and you're 10 times, you're 100, you're a million times worse off than you were under Trump, man. I guarantee it. All you youngsters out there, I can't pay my bill. Hey, you voted this guy in, man. You voted for this guy. He didn't get 81 million votes. He got 81 million ballots. Ballots, not votes. Ballots and votes are different things, man. Votes are attached to human beings. Ballots are attached to cheating. You just participated in cheating to get this guy in, okay? Because you voted for him. You gave him a base of votes to work off of. And if you don't think all that's going to come out, it's coming out right now. Every single one of these lawsuits against Trump is going to be stomped to oblivion, man, because they're illegal. You got a two-tier justice system. You got corrupt people at the top. You got corrupt people at the top of all these agencies and entertainment and tech, and 90% of these people at the top are corrupt. They're all in bed with each other. Some of them literally. Okay. Some of them literally, man. And you guys are fomenting your own demise, man. You're shooting yourself in the foot by supporting all this stuff. And the ones who are so heavily indoctrinated, you don't get it. You're going to be the last one on the list in that poem. They came from when they came for me. When they came for so and so, I wasn't a so and so, so I didn't say anything. When they came for so and so, I wasn't a so and so, so I didn't say anything. When they came for so and so, I wasn't a so and so, I didn't say anything. When they came for me, there was no one left to defend me. That's exactly where you're going to be at. You're going to be at the end of that line. Meanwhile, people like me are at the top or part of the way down that line. We're not going to be able to stand up for you, man, because they already took us. I hope that scares you. If it doesn't, you're a fool. 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 I use that term biblically and secularly. I know a lot of you parents don't even agree with the shit you're doing, man. You're bucking your own wisdom. Well, you know what? I did that too, and it's called School of Hard Knocks, man. I learned the hard way you can't do some of the stuff you guys morons are doing right now. I've been punched in the face for calling someone out there. As a matter of fact, the first time I got laid out by a man, I called my mom a pig, and my dad laid me out at 14. He gave me the back of his hand and laid me out. Said, "Don't you ever call your mother and my wife that again." He laid me out. My mom was mad at him somewhat, but she never stayed mad for long at that after that one, man. Because I learned my lesson. I didn't call my mom out her name. Maybe later on in life, when I was in my 20s, I might have said one or two things, and I might have said it in front of my dad and looked him dead in the eye. Because some of the stuff wasn't, some of my dad found out later on in life that my mom is kind of a bitch. She's a spoiled little brat. My dad married the youngest of a upper middle class family. She was a spoiled brat. My dad fell in love with her, man. He was her white knight. He's the one who beat the crap out of the guy that harassed her at the roller rink that day. Beat the living shit out of him. My uncle said they had to pull his ass off of him, man. My dad wasn't even dating her. He just saw her disrespecting my mom and trying to hurt my mom, so he beat the living shit out of him. That was in the 50s. We don't do that no more because all you men out there, you got half a ball running. I got a female cat got more balls than you guys, some of you guys got. Seriously. That's why you don't want it to go back into the 60s, man, because half you guys would have your asses whooped already, man. And it wouldn't be just to beat you up. It would be to teach you a lesson. It's called a spanking, man. I don't mean from mom or dad. I mean from just from life, from being in public, man. At one time, no matter how a woman acted, if a man disrespected her, another man would step up to the plate. That's because we know women can't, unless they're Ronda Rousey, ain't no woman going to take on a man. Seriously, man, unless they're an MMA fighter or a wrestler. I do lump wrestling in it because some of them women are fucking tough and they do hit each other. I mean, they might pull them, but you get some of these shoot matches where they get mad at each other and they actually beating the crap out of each other. Look at some of their faces afterwards; they're all puffed up. These are tough women, man. But 90% of the women in an MMA fighter, boxer, or have no martial arts training. So if a guy, even a guy in a wheelchair like me, I can grab a woman and hold on to her for more than a minute. She can struggle all she wants, but I'm still stronger at 65. That's why we defended women back then. Now women want to be equal. So hey, man, guy slaps you in the face, I'm gonna walk by and let him slap you in the face. You want to be equal, man. You got that's what feminism got you. Got you equal rights, man. Equal rights, equal lefts. You know. I just watched a video where a guy threw a hot cup of coffee on a protester, on a Trump supporter at UCLA. Man, you're assaulting someone, man. Hot coffee, and then the lady stepped. No, 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 man. I grabbed her and grabbed him and called the police. She's an accomplice to his assault. He tried to stop me from letting the perpetrator get away. That's I mean, come on now, come on. I know you kids nowadays ain't that dumb. I call you ignorant. Stupid people don't want to learn. Ignorant people can learn. And the difference is the amount of cognitive dissonance that goes into you learning what you or unlearning what you already think is the truth. Ain't no racial prejudice in this country, man. That shit was gone in the 80s, dude. The 80s and the 90s, man. That shit was gone, man. Look at how many interracial couples you see around here. Back before 1964, you would not see very many. And if you did, they were ostracized because everyone was Jim Crow indoctrinated back then. Now they're re-indoctrinating you into Jim Crow. And they don't want you to listen to us boomers because we already went through it. We know what they're doing to you. We do. We know what they're doing to you, man. And so they don't want you to talk to the boomers or the Xers or, anybody from that generation before the 80s, before 1980s and 90s, man. You go back behind that one. Go back behind that, and you did not see women and men hitting women very often. You saw women maybe slap a man, and the man might take it, but after the second slap, he's gonna push her away. Or my guy might grab her and drop her on, grab her by the shoulders and drop her on the ground, like my dad taught me to do. Never put your hands on a woman unless it's to move her out of the way. If she's gonna hit you, I'm gonna throw her on the ground, and I'm gonna walk. If she gets up, she's gonna get thrown back on the ground, and I'm gonna walk. It was banned on Facebook because I told the feminists that, hey man, you're a bunch of idiots. You're a bunch of idiots. You're a bunch of feminists. You're out there. You want men and women's spaces. That you can do that in a fucking house, man. You can't do that in public, man. Shit, my ex-wife we used to walk in on each other pissing and shitting all the time. I walk in on my kids. It's my fucking house. I'm not in there to be a pervert. I'm in there to talk to you. Where did you wait till I did? No, man, I got you right where I want you now. I have a captive audience. You know, I have a captive audience because you got to piss, man. You got to listen to what I have to say while you're pissing or you're shitting, and you're going to listen to what I have to say while you're shitting. Don't show this again. It's May. I got until September. Yeah, this is a vast. They're hammering me. Yeah, he used to call this rant and roll, but it's become more um, sociological based, not even political, man. It's also solid society, man. You know, our politics is tied into our society, man. Okay, your society isn't tied into your politics. If that's the way you got it, then your society is going to crumble. Your politics should never come into society unless it's detrimental to your freedom and your liberty, which it is right now. You can't keep. I mean, this is to the people that are working. I don't care about the people at the top because these guys are going to jail. Okay, that's already a given. They're gonna watch when everything starts hitting the fan. These guys are gonna be running out of the country, man. They're gonna be all going to Turkey or Greece. I think it's Greece. Yeah, they're all gonna be going to Greece or Turkey. Is it Turkey or Greece where you allow stuff with kids? It's one of those two countries where Tom Hanks is at right now. All this stuff's going to be tied into Jeffrey Epstein, P. Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby. I ain't gonna say Michael Jackson because they set his ass up. They said I think he was just a big freaking kid, man. I don't think he really had any intentions of messing with any of those kids. I think he was reliving his childhood that his dad Joe took away from him. That's what I think. They set his ass up because he wanted the rights to his music from Sony. Okay, and I think he bought the rights to his music. They didn't like that because he would have wanted to own half of Sony. A black man with that much power? With these racist assholes at the top? Okay? And I'm not racist, but half these people at the top, they're racist as hell. Half the Zionists, man, they don't like anybody but Jews. They don't. They don't. They're the ones that are spitting on Christians in Jerusalem, man. The Talmudic Jews and the Zionists. The regular Jewish, I've met Jewish people, man, they love everybody, dude. They're one of the most accepting people in the world. The population is. The government sucks. Same with our government. Our government sucks. Most every government around the world sucks right now. There's very few governments that aren't implementing this DEI bullshit and segregating their populations. You ever hear the term divide and conquer? Look up the term left-right paradigm. Look up the Hegelian dialectic. Look it up, man. They don't want you to know those terms, man, because that's exactly what they're using right now. Look up the term Overton window, man. When I was growing up, the difference between a conservative and a liberal is about like this. Then you had the middle of the ground. Now it's like this. But you know what? It's not. It moved a little bit to the right under Bush, the Bushes and Reagan, but the left just went dropped it off the cliff. So everything that was like this, a conservative and liberal at one time, is now like this. I'm a liberal and I'm considered conservative. But these are liberal beliefs I had from the 60s and the 70s, man. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, separation of church and state. That don't mean the schools, okay? Church and state, okay? Public schools, that has to be separated there. If not, they have to incorporate them all in. In other words, you have to learn about Islam, you have to learn about Christianity, you have to learn about Judaism, you have to learn about Hinduism, you have to learn about Taoism, Confucianism. You want to play the freedom of religion. You either ban it all or you include it all. That's the constitutional way to do it. But you can't ban it all. See what I'm saying? So you have to include all these ideologies, man. You have to let everybody look at these ideologies and choose for themselves. Why do you think they're scrubbing the internet, man? I'm telling you, 65 years old. I started using the internet when the internet first came out. As a matter of fact, when I was working for Douglas Aircraft, they had a primitive form of internet. I was talking to my friend over in the. She worked in the office, and I worked on the floor. We'd type each other during lunch. Internet. That was in 1989, 90. So I've been on the internet since the 90s, man, since it first came into being, pretty much. Well, yeah, I can say since the first, because that's first what the internet was. It was inter-office communication. And then they expanded it. No, what's his name did not invent the internet. He's a moron. He's the one that said 20 years ago that there's gonna be no ice caps left. And the ice caps are actually increasing. I'm still waiting for 10 years have almost gone by. I'm still waiting for the water level to rise that AOC said 10 years ago. That's where your climate change garbage goes. They lied to you, man. And you were stupid enough to believe it. I would say ignorant enough to believe it. Because if you still believe it, you're stupid. Because there's too much evidence that all that crap that they're spouting, there's too much evidence out there right now that it's all false. There's all property. No, you believe in the propaganda, man. All you idiots that are protesting out there for Palestine, you're going to be the last ones on that list, man. They're going to come for everybody else, and by the time they come for you, there's going to be no one else to defend you, man, because you defended it. And they will come for you, man. You either convert or you die, man. That's the way these people think. The fundamentalists. I know a few Muslims. I know Muslims that own businesses over here. They ran from Iran. They ran from Iran. They don't call themselves Iranians. They call themselves Persians, man. They differentiate between the Ayatollah and Persia. They might be Muslim, but they're like Catholics. They don't have a bad bone. They don't take their attack everybody literally. Like I don't take it in the Bible that we wiped out Canaan. We got to do that. No, I don't. No. That's where preaching comes in. That's where proselytizing comes in. Yeah, look up the word proselytizing. Muslims do it too. They proselytize. They'll come out and try to convert people. Okay, that's the way religion works. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, man. It's a big difference. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the Holy Spirit. I believe in the saint. I don't believe in the saints. I believe in the apostles. I believe the Bible, black and white word is true, unless it is obviously a parable. Unless it's obviously a parable. Oh, but an angel, no, an angel can look at whatever God wants. If you try to take all that power away from God, then you don't believe in God. God is all powerful, man. All powerful. Okay, he's not a genie in a bottle, man. I don't rub a bottle and ask for God for stuff. I thank him for every time I thank him, man. I thank him. I might not do it every day. I might even argue with Daddy once in a while. I might even argue with him once in a while. But you know what? I see God sitting back up there chuckling and say, okay, son. You just think about that for a minute. And kick back and wait for me to think about it. Don't do nothing. Just wait for me to think about it. And I was saying, oh, I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry, Lord. You're right. I'm wrong. You know. Oh, God punish? No, God don't punish nobody. God takes his protection off of you. There's a difference there. When I lived in my father's house, if I did something wrong, okay, my father would give me up. He would no longer protect me. Okay? And I wouldn't expect him to protect. If I robbed a bank and I tried to hide my dad's house, if my dad gave me up to the cops, hey, he loves me, man. I need to face the consequences. That's what happens when God takes his protection from you. Okay, you want to do what you want? Go ahead, here. You're free. Do what you want. Well, go on, man. Go right over there. That big white path over there. Go on. I've been on that big white path, man. I've been on that big white path. And the more crap that happened to me on that big white path, the narrower my path started to get. All right? Well, life makes you a Christian, man. That's why God gives you free will. God don't want a robot. You don't want an automaton. Doesn't. He wants you to love him of your own volition, of your own free will. I love God, man. That's my daddy. Abba. That's my daddy. Okay? I got his back. And I'm not saying God needs that, but I got his back, man. That's why I talk to people. When I talk to people about God, I defend him. I defend Jesus Christ, too. The man died for me, man. He took all. If you ever seen, this is long before the Passion of the Christ. There's a statue that my grandma saw when she went to Israel. She went to Jerusalem. She's a Catholic. She went to Jerusalem. And there's a statue somewhere in one of the churches And it has Christ's body before he was crucified. It has a sculpture of his body. And it is disfigured, deformed, scarred, torn, beaten, battered, bruised. And it's a statue sitting in the church of showing you what Jesus would have looked like after receiving all that abuse before he was crucified. Why would someone do that for you, man? Why? Why? It's just a myth, really? There's a lot of archaeological evidence popping up about Christ being real. A lot. They just don't want you to see it. They just don't want you to see it. They'll pop it out there for maybe 20 seconds and then bury it. Then you have to go look for it. Now they're starting to scrub it. Why do you think history repeats itself so much? Because they scrubbed the history. You don't remember. Think about it like this. There's people out there that have been hit in the head and they can't remember from one day to the next who they are. They have to have written notes. That's the way they got society right now. They got you youngsters down to 10-second clips on freaking TikTok. 3-minute clips on TikTok. Happy you can't even read, man. Happy you can't even write. Your English is atrocious. I speak 3 freaking languages, man. And I know the grammar of 2 of them. I don't have the vocabulary, but I know the grammar, which means I can speak the language. All I need to do is get my vocabulary. I know the grammar. I know how the grammar works. I mean, keeping you guys ignorant, man. I'm talking to people that are working for these places, man, because you're way younger than me, some of you. Because I know no older heads are going to be sitting in an office like being called a bigot and all this crap all day long. I'd hate to even work for a company like that, man. And if I owned a company, I was sure as ass hell wouldn't hire you if you're going to come and disrupt my company and then tell me you want a raise. That's the biggest, funniest one right there, man. I'm going to disrupt your company and then I'm going to complain to you for a raise. The fuck, man? This is going right to you employees, man. And I know you have your little trolls out here, man. That stuff's already out there, man. You're just trying to suppress all of it. Now it's starting to pop out bags out of the cat. All the cats are coming out of all the bags at one time. That's kind of weird, ain't it? That's a big coincidence, isn't it? All the cats coming out of all the bags at one time. Huh? I mean, I'm just watching this stuff go on. Just like these protests, man. Half the people at these campuses aren't even students, man. They're freaking paid. They're paid fucking inside. They're paid to be there. And then the other half are homeless. Are homeless fucking refugees, man. The ones that cross the border, the terrorists. You don't think they got a place to live right now? And I'm not talking about government funding. They're just collecting the government money to buy arms. Okay. I wonder how many gangbangers are out there selling these idiots fucking weapons, man, on the black market. I hope they're not, man, because gangbanger or not, man, you're still a human being. You're still American, man. You're an American gangbanger, man. I mean, have some pride in there, man. The mafia did during World War II. They were American. They were American mafia, man. And Lucky Luciano got let loose for helping during World War II. He got extradited, but he didn't go to the death penalty or he didn't spend life in prison here. He lived in Sicily most of the rest of his life. Then he came down to Cuba and worked out of Cuba for a while before Cuba was under Castro. All you guys that work for these companies, you're college educated, man. You're college educated. But I call you college indoctrinated. Okay? Oh, no. You didn't learn everything, man. You did. You learned one side of it. You learned one side of the equation. That's why you're getting laid off right now. Because you learned one side of the equation and that got you a job. And because you don't know the other side of the equation, you're going to get laid off. I didn't go to college until I was in my 40s. I was already 30 years into drawing, to 20 some years into music. I know how to read and write music. I never went to college for it. I went to the University of Chicago Public Library. I'm a self-taught individual, man, even in art. I'm self-taught. As soon as I saw myself plateauing off, I knew I needed help. I couldn't learn anymore on my own. I needed someone to teach me a little bit. And every class I walked into, within a week or a month, I was a teacher's assistant, man. Okay, I was critiquing work, and I was working with the professor. And me and the professor bumped heads all the time, man. This guy was one of those classical music red wine drinking painters from he went to school in Venice, man. So he was one of those red wine drinking, classical music listening to painters. I have no problem with listening to music. I walked in and turned on the freaking wave, man. I turned on some cool jazz. It's the same thing. It's music, man. It's just, know, it's a modernization of classical. Yeah, jazz is more classical than anything else. Blues came out of the jazz scene. Heavy metal has more classical rock in it. Yeah, blues came out of jazz scene. Blues came out of Mississippi Delta and Chicago, but it was what was it, ragtime. Most of it was a lot of ragtime coming in from the 1800s into the 1900s. There's a lot of ragtime, and you had the waltzes. They were playing off the classical genre. See, that's music history, man. And if I'm wrong, correct me. I don't mind. I want to learn. If I'm wrong, correct me. But if you come at me with some kind of crap that don't make sense or no proof, I could play scales, man. I can show you the difference between a pentatonic scale and a classical scale. I can show you what notes are missing, and they're missing for effect. You have to. I was taught in art. You have to know the rules before you break them. That's one thing that Bertucci's taught me. You have to know the rules before you can break them. Exactly how he would say that to me. Because we'd have one-on-ones while everyone else was painting. He'd come up to me and give me a one-on-one, maybe 20 minutes of a one-on-one directly because I was his teacher's assistant, man. He worked with me, and then I go out and work with the rest of the class. So I benefited. Same with computer animation. As soon as I picked up on it, boom, I was a TA. I was teaching other people how to rig. I was teaching other people how to scan. I was teaching other people uh, texturing. I was teaching other people how to the difference between Maya and Python. Okay, in coding. As soon as I started picking it up, and I picked it up because I'm a faster learner, because I taught myself. I didn't have someone browbeating stuff into me. I took my time and taught myself. So now I got all this knowledge in there to cross-reference with. That's how you learn. That's a logical train of thought. If you don't know how to do that, you're ignorant. And if you don't want to learn how to do it, you're stupid. That's the difference between ignorance and stupidity. Ignorant people can learn, they just don't know. Stupid people will learn and deny what they learn because it doesn't fit in their feelings. Feelings don't care about your logical thought, man. As a matter of fact, feelings are illogical within logical thought. Feelings don't matter. When you have a lot, if you're trying to think something through, you put feelings into it, you're going to get confused. Try it sometime. Try working on something, man. Something you really know how to do. You really know how to do this one thing. And then start thinking about something that happened to you that hurt you and see how fast you get it done as opposed to not thinking about your feelings and doing it. That's critical thinking. You have to learn where your emotions and your logical thoughts separate. If you don't, you're going to be confused for the rest of your life. For example, my cat, something wrong with her. I know there's something wrong with her. Okay? There's nothing I can do about it because it's the environment. All right? I got black mold up in here. And that cat's my canary in the coal mine right now. And I hate to put it that way because I love her to death. Okay? And I'm sad that I brought her into something like this. And I'm hoping to get her fixed or get her help or get help around here to keep the place clean so I can help her stay clean. Okay? That's my environment. I know I got black mold up in here. I'm not stupid. She exposed it when she first got here, man. She exposed it when she first got here. Now she knows when I sweep, and when I can't sweep, like I can't do it right now because my body's aching. Okay, my body's aching from the cold and from all this stuff. I can't heat this apartment up. I don't want to close the windows. You see what I'm saying? They got this place. You have no way to get comfortable. Okay, I'm just rambling right now. This is turning into a rant. All right. My original point is this: you people that are running the show up here, man, you're the useful idiots, man. And I don't care if you're insulted by it. If your feelings are so that bad, well, how can you fucking work? How can you get any work done? I mean, you deny all the statistics, you deny everything that counters everything that you're talking about. And when you deny it, the reason that we know it's true is because you get angry about it. You get angry about being lied to for so long. Not by the person that's telling you the truth, the person that's lying to you. You're angry at that person, and you're taking out on the person that's telling you the truth. That's called cognitive dissonance, man. There's going to be a lot of that going on this summer. Because I guarantee you, Google, all you techie employees under a certain level, you're baggage, man. At the end of the day, you're fucking baggage. They will replace you or get rid of you. And they're already starting to get rid of you. Okay? You fulfilled your role. You divided the country. Okay? You fulfilled your role. You lied to people. Okay, now that everyone's starting to figure out that you've been lying to us, and you're the ones that are doing it, the people at the top are just having cocaine and cookies and laughing their asses off at you. Literally, probably. They're at a P. Diddy party, man. Or an Epstein party. Or a Weinstein party. Yep. I'm not just talking about the kids. I'm talking about the drugs and the sex and the debauchery. I mean, there's sex and there's debauchery, man. There's sex and then there's debauchery, man. I could put a division in those two. There's sex and there's debauchery. You're pushing the debauchery, man. Nobody cares what sexual orientation. That shit went out the door in the 70s, man, in the 80s. Okay? Because before the 70s, it was a mental illness to be homosexual and transgender. You had gender dysphoria or homosexuality. It was both in the DSM. Both of them were. They were considered a mental illness. Okay, but you won the freedom. You got them taken out. Now it's sexual orientation. Okay, you won that freedom, man. It's no longer considered a mental illness, man. Okay, that doesn't mean everybody else wants to be that way. Accept what you got and go with it, man. Oh no, everybody. That means that you're miserable, and you want everyone else to be miserable along with you. Because you see people around here that are heterosexual, or maybe bisexual, or maybe gay, and they're happy. But they're not pansgender. They're not this. They're not that. They're not. You are unhappy with the way you are, and you want everyone else to be unhappy because you think yourself of an individual when you're going along with it. I mean, it's just like that old saying. You laugh at me because you say I'm different. I laugh at you because you're all the same. Okay? And I can use that anywhere. Okay? I even conform to some boxes, man. I'm a freaking heterosexual male, white Christian. Okay? I consider myself an alpha fucking male, man. I will stand up for people's rights. I will stand up if I see someone being bullied. I will stand up, man. I will, man. I won't get my camera. I won't get my phone out and film it. Okay, that's beta. You're just going for the clicks. Okay. In the meantime, I'm out there beating the crap out of everyone. I'm getting you those clicks. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm coming from with that? I'm defending someone and I'm getting you those clicks by defending someone when you could have gotten more clicks if you'd have defended them and then got up and filmed it afterwards. Said, look, and you see beat up face. Look, man, this guy's getting arrested. And dude, I took this much punishment to get him off that girl. I guarantee you get a million fucking clicks. If you defended someone and proved that you did it. Let me tell you something else. Your brain, your thinking, they got you down to 3-minute clips before you get bored. I know. I go through these shorts, man. They're addicting, man. Then I look for some substance, man. A couple hours long. You know, something I could doze off to, and that shit. Whether you believe it or not, man, you learn waking or sleeping, man. Everything that goes in your ears, when you open your eyes and when you sleep, everything you see gets recorded up here, man. That's your wrong. That's your ROM. That's your read-only memory, man. Now, if you don't have the random access memory to get into that read-only memory and bring it out to the screen, that's what genius level IQ does, man. We try to dig into our subconscious a little bit, man. See what the fuck we've learned. I do it a lot. That's what meditation does, man. I don't go off into the damn om. No, I just meditate on him. No, I talk to Daddy when I'm sleeping, man. I say, God, show me what I've learned today. Boom, all this stuff starts coming up in my head, man. Boom, 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 boom. Show me what I did wrong today. Boom, 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 boom. Show me what I did right today. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, you must be crazy. No, I'm crazy like a fox, motherfucker. Crazy like a fox. All right? That's an Indian saying, man. People are crazy like a fox, man. You go up against a fox, man. Seriously, you try to keep a fox out of a hen house, you're gonna have a battle on your hands. You're gonna find a way in there no matter what. You you might shoot one of them things, and they're still gonna come back and find a way in, so they don't get shot. They're smart. Like I said, you guys that are working in these companies, man, your day is coming, dude. I feel bad for you, dude. I really do. I might be laughing, but I feel bad because if I don't laugh, I'm gonna cry because you're shooting yourself in the foot by doing all the censorship, man. Because they're gonna come for you next. Oh, I'm conforming. No, they don't care. They're divided at the top. They're divided on the neoliberals are divided right now. They're beating each other up. And I call you neoliberals, man. You're not true liberals. Just like neoconservatives aren't true conservatives. You want to play the left-right paradigm. Conservative and liberal, like I said, under the Overton window, when I was growing up, even into the 90s and the 2000s, was like this. Maybe a little bit like this in the 2000s. Okay. Then you had Bush up in there pulling to the right. Then you had Clinton. Then you had the other Bush. Then you had Obama. Then you had Trump. And now you have Biden. That guy's all the way off the cliff to the left, man. So that means a liberal like me would be considered conservative. I'm a live and let live kind of guy, man, until you try to I have a live and let live attitude, man. Seriously, I have a live and let live attitude, man, until you try to bring your attitude into my fucking house. I don't care what kind of attitude you have on the street because I can match it. I can match it penny for penny, man. I grew up having an attitude, man. Okay? I can match it penny for penny. And 90% of the time, I'll come out right. I'll tell you, there's 10% that I'm wrong. I say about 90% of the time, I'm going to come out right with confidence. Because I'm watching all the trends that are going on. I'm watching everything from the time I was a teenager until now. I'm looking back on everything and looking into history, looking into history of the age that I lived in until now. Politically, legally, sociologically, and psychologically. Okay. By the time I go, you guys would never survive the 60s, dude, or the 70s. You'd have a mouth on you, you'd probably get slapped in the face by a girl. And if you went after the girl, the guy would walk up to you and punch you in the mouth. Because if you're wrong, you're wrong. And we backed up our women back then. If they were wrong, they got a mouthful, man. If they were wrong, man did defend her, man. Seriously, there's a lot of times I've seen a guy walk away, girl start a fight, guy walk away. Now I ain't getting into this shit. You handle it. We had girls like that back then. They were very far and few in between because most of the other girls would beat the shit out of them for doing that, man. Now you got women that don't even know who the hell they are in society anymore, and they're taking your role with all these transgender guys. Okay, I might not agree with that stuff, man, but it's your right to be that way, man. There's people like Blair White. I'd love to have a conversation with him. Okay, as long as he don't press me to act like he's a woman. He looks like a woman. He has the mannerisms of a woman, but he knows he's a guy. He knows he hangs like me. He knows he got XX chromosomes. I would respect him and call her her because at least he understands that he's a transgender female and he's a transgender woman. He's not a woman. He doesn't have XX chromosomes. And I'd probably wind up calling him Blair more often than not because I would not want to really bring that up, man. I'll call him a transgender woman or Blair. Okay? And he would respect that with me, man. Now, privately, I'd be using he all the time. I say, sorry, I mean, you got to forgive me, man, because I can't deny it. Asking me to deny it because I'll call you a transgender woman, but you're still a man to me, man. You still, no click clip. Even if you click clip, you still got the XY, man. You don't have XX, you have XY. That's why there's a Y in there, man. A Y looks like a guy, man. A guy going like this. You got two women. I got some female hormones in me too. They're not prevalent. They don't run my body. My DNA runs my body, man. And all you women that work and think this way, man, you're gonna walk one day. You're gonna get blindsided. I guarantee it's gonna be a blindside. You're gonna walk into a public restroom. A guy's gonna walk up and behind you, claim he's a woman, and rape you. Because you don't have men stopping these men from walking in the woman's room on the outside. Because you got every man afraid of that, man. You got them afraid to go after these people. Under the DSM, before it was taken out, gender dysphoria is a very, very rare disorder. Same with homosexual, it was a very, very rare disorder. Okay, it's a sociological thing, man. I was raised, I played with dolls growing up. Okay, I played with G.I. Joes, man. I made myself little clay figures and played with them. I used to model with clay. Or I'd make the Mach 5 and all these. I'd watch Speed Racer and I'd model out the Mach 5 and there'd be a little guy in the driver's seat. And, you know, I played like that as a kid. I played with G.I. Joes. I played with Captain Action. Was it Captain Action? Yeah, Captain Action. Could be anybody you want. I used to be Captain America all the time. I have Captain America with the G.I. Joe, man. It was a perfect comic book punch, man. Perfect comic book punch. You know what I mean? But you don't see me out there. And I've had my walk on the wild side, okay? I've done it. Been there, done that, man. It doesn't excite me at all. It feels wrong, man. It feels good, but it feels wrong. It just feels wrong, okay? I'm a man. I'm not meant for that, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm a liberal, man. I'm a liberal, dude. I've experienced a lot of shit, okay? And I'm not afraid to say it because I'm a straight white male right now. I'm not gay, man. I hate that. It doesn't feel right to me. I don't like it. It doesn't even turn me on anymore, man. So my genetic, no, my genetics have nothing to do with it. My genetics say I'm a man. Okay. When I was growing up, my sister used to have this. This is how sexually aware we were when we were growing up. She's 5 years old. I got the hot. You got the hot dog. I got the bun. Let's get together and have some fun. She's 5 years old singing that. Okay, don't think that we were stupid when we were kids, man. We weren't. Doesn't mean she was molested or anything like that. She probably walked into my mom and dad having sex. My mom probably had to sit down and explain it to her, and that's probably how she explained it to her. Okay, we weren't dumb. We weren't as innocent as you think in the '60s and the '70s, dude. Believe me, man. We were innocent in our approach to it. Big difference, man. Big difference. We were innocent in our approach to it. No, I didn't have sex education. My dad taught me about sex, man. He taught me everything, man. Okay, he told me and your mom go to bed, we have sex, and you were born. And then he explained stuff to me. As I got older, he told me about the zygote. He told me about the conception. He told me about all this stuff. And all every lesson he used to tell me, don't let the big little head think for the big head, man. Don't be pussy whipped. What I want to be pussy whipped. But that seed was planted. See, that's the problem. That's the thing about the Constitution. You have the right to do anything you want, even go to prison for shit you do. Think about that one, man. You have the right to do whatever you want in this country, even go to prison for, even suffer the consequences for the things you do wrong. I told one guy on the street like that. He come up to me, Billy Badass, straight out of fucking jail. He come up to me. I said, dude, I spent 10 years in the fucking joint. I said, dude, I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps for your right to go to prison. It shut him up real quick, man. I mean, whoop. I served in the military, man. I'm watching everybody strip their own rights away from themselves, man. You can ask anybody who knows me in this building. I don't care. I'm 65 years old. You want to make me fucking homeless? Make me fucking homeless. Fuck you. You see what I'm saying? I've already been there, done that. And I mean, you put a handicapped man on reason. I mean, I'm right in a lot of these instances where I'm bumping uglies with these guys. Okay, I'm bumping heads with these guys big time in here. I refuse to give them the shit, man. I'm refusing it, man, because they're not doing the shit they're supposed to be doing here. They're violating their end of the contract. Now, if there's nothing in the contract that says they have to keep up the maintenance on this building, that contract should be null and void. Because I've been keeping up with their stuff all the time I've been here. All the time I've been here. They get overpaid on the rent. I messed up at first a little bit, but after that, they get overpaid on the rent. They get all the paperwork as fast as I can get it to them. Okay, I'm in a wheelchair. Give me a fucking break. I used to have a case manager, okay, that did all this work for me. It helped me through all this stuff. Okay, because I'm disabled. I'm not sitting here. If I was on two legs, when I was on two legs, I never had a case manager. I did all this shit myself. Now I'm in a wheelchair and I can't go running up to Social Security, man. I can't even get on a bus to go up there, man, because they'll throw me all over the place on the bus because they don't strap you down properly. And yet you want to talk about the color of someone's skin it makes them marginalized. I'm fucking marginalized, dude. I'm fucking marginalized, literally, physically, and somewhat emotionally right now because I'm having a lot of hard time dealing with this fucking amputation, man. I want my leg back. I want to get my prosthetic so I can walk. So I won't have to be in this wheelchair and I won't have these idiots coming and calling me every fucking 20 days. You really got the paperwork. Go give me a piece of paper to sign. You can go straight to SSI or you can go straight to freaking you go straight to freaking where I got my Section 8 and they get that shit directly from SSI. They don't ask me for anything. They might ask me for a bank account once in a while to make sure I ain't got no big numbers running in there. But they get all their information from SSI. They know when I get. They know when I get they know when I get a pay raise. It's the private corporation that's doing this shit to me. I told them to go find out who my case manager because they don't tell me who none of these people are. Who handles my case over there, man? Was it just electronic now? They don't want to do the work that they're getting paid to do, and these guys are getting paid six figures a year, man. I'm supposed to do their fucking work for them? No, I already pay their bills just by being here. And if you put me out, someone else is going to be in here. And you know what? God has a sense of humor. It might be another guy like me, another veteran, doesn't take this bullshit too lightly, man. I don't even have representation in these places, man. They took bash out of everything over here because they get the West Coast VA over here. Man, I can't get to the VA all the time. I need a representative here to set some of this shit up. It might help them streamline their system over there. But they're too busy to get paid big salaries at the top over there too. And you guys that work here, you're getting the same treatment. Those guys don't care about you. They care about keeping their fucking paycheck and their benefits. That's crony capitalism, man. That's crony capitalism, man. I'm all for capitalism, but this shit, no, no, this got to go. Okay, that's why the government needs to step in and regulate this stuff. Not regulate like they've been doing. Regulating, they got 20 million departments to regulate one thing. That's the way the government works. You got 20 million departments to regulate one thing. They all regulate the same. That's what Trump was doing. He's cutting all the pork out of the government, man. So that means your taxes can go into getting the roads fixed and getting the infrastructure fixed. I mean, why do you think he put the Federal Reserve inside the Department of the Treasury, man? I don't know if Biden took it out, but as far as I know, the Federal Reserve falls under the Department of the Treasury right now. They're a subcontractor. They're a contractor to the Department of the Treasury. I mean, I make memes, man. You know, that's what I do. I can't even get a JPEG anymore. It's all these web images. You know, that means I got to upgrade all my software. You know, it'll get upgraded. Believe me, it will. Um, you know, I told these idiots when they got me banned. I knew they were going to get me banned. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I did it on purpose to prove me right. And I laughed at him. I said, "You get me banned, it doesn't matter, man. I got a video saying it. You get me banned, it doesn't matter because I'll go to other platforms, man. Sooner or later, there's going to be more platforms with free speech on them, and less of us are going to be sitting on these YouTube, Facebook. Twitter's gone. I mean, not Twitter, but TikTok's gone. Okay, TikTok is like that's legitimately a communist freaking a Chinese company, and all companies in China report to the government. Period. Period. There's no fascism over there. They own the government over there. They own the companies over there. in China. They just allow their people to run them. That's true communism right there. Fascism, the government be working like in the United States. The government be working with the corporations, and you got all this cronyism at the top. Communism, they squish all that, man. You start a company, you start a company over there, you're gonna have Chinese officials all throughout your company, all throughout your company. They will monitor everything you do, and they will make suggestions on everything else, and you still get the money for the company from the government. That's why they're going broke over there, man. They're going broke. They got cities, they got whole cities that are vacant over there, man. Literally, they have whole cities that are vacant in China. I mean, cities that have 100,000 or more people, 100,000 or more apartment people in them that would have 100,000 up to 1 million people. They got whole cities abandoned over there. They have the money to keep it up because they're a communist country. You can't keep relying on something. You can't keep printing money. It don't work like that, man. The more money you put into the economy, the more expensive things are going to get because the more the dollar of that country is going to deflate. The dollar here is worth about 10 cents, maybe, if we're lucky. Okay, because I'm getting about $50 on the dollar when I send my girlfriend money in the Philippines. Now that money, my money is going up over there, which means their economy is going down. Their economy is going down. Our economy going down. At one time, you can go to Europe on the dollar, and you'd have $100 in every country you go into. Seriously, man. When I was in Japan, it was 125 yen to the dollar. Okay. Right now in the Philippines, it's 50 RMB to the dollar. At one time, it was almost 200. That's the way it used to be all over the world, man. When I was growing up, there was no country in the world where the dollar wasn't superior in transfer rate. In transfer rate. Okay, because you couldn't go in there with a dollar and spend a dollar like you can in some of these countries. You can go in and spend a dollar in their country. Okay, some of these countries. Most of the countries, when you transfer the dollar to let's say the English pound got us by about 10 cents. The euro got us by about 10 cents. Okay, that's called inflation, man. There's nothing. Back in the day, we had gold backing this money, man. There was never more money than the amount of gold we had in Fort Knox. So all the gold was backing up the money. So the government has to buy the gold to print the money and the silver, gold and silver to print this money. That's before silver was used in all the electronics. Same with platinum. Platinum is used in electronics too, and it's expensive. Gold is used in electronics too, and it's expensive. But silver is mostly used in electronics, and copper, and copper's a penny. Pennies aren't even copper anymore; they're fucking plastic. You young people do not understand how much of a decline has been in this country since I've been alive. You would have more fun in the '60s than you do now. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, man. Guaranteed. You would have, man. You would have had the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want. You might have had to come home when you were a kid when the lights came on. And even when I was a kid, if the lights came on, we hung out on the front porch. Seriously, man. I had a TV. I used to bring my remote TV, my TV out. My dad would plug in the extension cord, and we'd sit there and watch creature features, man. We'd have to play with the antenna and shit, but imagine if you could do that now with all the electronics, man. Well, what to do now, man? I mean, everything you're experiencing is because society is falling apart from when I was a kid. You don't want to believe that, man. I'm telling you, it's true. Even with all the electronics you got right now, if I had that when I was a kid, I would be outside. We'd be taking pictures, man. We'd be going doing some shit. We'd be going out swinging on swings, man. We'd be going out swimming and diving and recording ourselves, maybe put it on the internet. Now everyone's sitting there watching everybody do that on the internet. That's how you get clicks, man. I watch everybody that goes out on these adventure things. You get a lot of clicks because they're out there experiencing life, man. They're not sitting at home recording themselves. I can't even go out because I don't use a cell phone because they give me headaches. Until they get all this military grade technology out of everything, we're gonna be destroyed by this shit. And that's what they're doing. They're using the military grade stuff. They're not using civilian grade stuff on us, man. There's gee, why do you think they raided Tesla, man? After he died, they took all his stuff and they weaponized everything, man. They weaponized everything. Even the microwave energy that you use has been weaponized. There's safer energy you can use to run this stuff. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. There's safer ways to run it. Tesla figured it out. You can check me on all this stuff. If anybody ever watches this stuff and they come at me, check me in the fucking comments section, man. Show me where I'm wrong. I mean, you start the ideological stuff, I'm going to say, no, fuck you, man. That's brainwashing. I was brainwashed for 11 weeks in boot camp. I know what fucking indoctrination is. I was heavily indoctrinated for 4 years in the Marine Corps. Okay? I was heavily indoctrinated, all right? Has its benefits, man. I know I'm a combat ready Marine, man. If combat hits these shores, I'm going to do something to participate. I might even run my own machine gun nest in a freaking wheelchair. Or a mortar squad. Okay? When am I going to do it? No, man. I'm not going to go out there and be all Rambo and shit. Homeless I was. I was ready for action out there, man. I was Captain America out there, dude. You come at me, I might back down, but later on, I'm going to get your ass, man. I'm going to wait till nobody's around. I'm not stupid. Do shit in the open. I'll find out where you live and send your ass a letter. I had connections out there, man. I had one drug dealer, man. He was selling drugs to this girl that I was trying to protect from using because she was really smart and really, 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 really intelligent and very creative. They feed her drugs and taking advantage of her. I found out where he lived. One of my buddies found out where he lived. I sent his ass a letter with no return address. And he used to party right above me to try and intimidate me. No, where the fuck told him where I live? And they abandoned harassing me after that, man. They abandoned it. You see what I'm saying? I didn't attack them. I just showed them, man. You come at me, I'm gonna come back at you, and you ain't gonna know what's gonna happen. Because I know you're sitting up there waiting to jump on me because I'm trying to stop you from dealing dope to kids. You know, you're up there trying to intimidate me. I just showed you, man. You come at me, I'm gonna find you. I already find you. So come on, let's go. He never fucked with me after he tried to attack me one time. I took a little bit of an ass whooping and sent his ass to jail. I took a little bit of an ass whooping. But the most he could ever do is gouge my eye with his thumb. He couldn't even lay a finger on me. And so I sent his ass to jail. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Because I could have whooped his ass right there because he never laid a finger on me, man. Every time he came at me, I'd block the stuff and I'd shift to the side and I'd have it set up for a right cross or a fucking uppercut or a kick to the groin or a kick to the tailbone. Yeah, I'll kick you right in the fucking tailbone, dude. You gotta drop you like a fucking sack of potatoes doing that one, man. Fuck yeah. Where do you think kicking the ass came from? He didn't kick you in the. They kicked you in the fucking tailbone, man. When you got kicked in the ass back in the day, you got kicked in the fucking tailbone. You don't think that's gonna run your ass off? You ever fall on your tailbone? Fuck. And then when he said, "Oh, stand still, fight with a man," so he swung and went in for a double leg takedown. Fuck, I used to wrestle. I was gonna ram his ass into the fucking wall, man. Till one of his buddies went up behind him. I was gonna ram it. You know those poles sitting in the parking structure to keep the cars from hitting the wall. I was gonna take his tailbone and ram it right into that. I was gonna disable that motherfucker. Disable him. So I guarantee you, I hit that fucking lumbar down there. You're gonna have a long time. You gonna, even if it doesn't make him not walk. When he gets about my age, you're gonna remember that. I remember every broken bone I got in my body right now. You know, why I got off on this tangent, I don't know. Because I'm stoned. All right. But back to the point, which was you youngsters working for these companies, man. You're next. You're next. Ain't no lie, man. It's not a lie. It's not. I told you, if you were growing up, like, go back to it. If you were growing up the way I grew up, number one, you ain't gonna let no girl walk up to you and slap you in the face for no reason. All right? That deserves to be pushed and knocked to the ground. I don't mean that. I mean grab her by the shoulder, push her back, make her stumble. I would never hit a woman unless she start wailing on me. Then it's gonna be full on. I'll take a few swipes, man. My dad taught me, man, when one wants to step up to the plate like a man, we square off like a man. And I mean, like after a few dozen swipes and slaps, and then no, eventually I'm gonna punch you right in the face. Or I'm gonna knock you on the ground first, and if you keep coming, then you're gonna get a slap, and if you keep coming, you're gonna get a punch. Because you're escalating on me, not me on you. I'm trying to get rid of, diffuse the situation, get you out of the way. I did that once to a woman. I had every man ever that saw me do that walk up to me and shake my hand, man. I said, I ain't never seen a man treat a woman like that. Give you props for that. You didn't put your hands on her. You didn't put a mark on her, man. You just put her in her place. Don't slap on a man. We're not built to be beat up. We're built to defend, man. I'm built to defend my woman, man. I don't need a man. Well, we'll all take a month off work for about a year. We'll take a year off work and see how much you don't need a man. Because half you women, not all you women saying that crap, you ain't gonna go on the garbage truck. You're not gonna go clean the sewers. You're not gonna go do the plumbing. You're not gonna go do the electrical. You're not gonna go build the building. These are the women that are saying this. I'm not talking about women that all women. I'm talking about the women that are pushing this agenda. None of these women would do anything without a man. As a matter of fact, all these women-led crap that's going on right now, it's all collapsing, man. Because we need both sexes, man. We work off each other, man. We're a symbiotic relationship between each other. Men need women and women need men. I need my girl to offset my logic, man. Because that could be pretty fucking cruel. Logical people are pretty fucking cruel, man. There's no emotional attachment. That goes into sociopathy. When you get that logical, you're usually a sociopath. Because I got a lot of my mom in me, man. And that old saying growing up, there's male and female in you. We're not talking about there's hormones. We're talking about raising of a man. When you have a mother and a father, you have both of those personality traits in you, man. Both of them. Your mother and your father. That's what makes you you. Now, those of you that weren't raised without fathers, I feel sorry for you because you have no male influence at all. None. You're just like a woman. You're going to react like a woman. Unless your mom's Ronda Rousey or some badass bitch, You're gonna react like a woman, man. You're gonna walk away from a fight when you need to stand in a fight. You're gonna lose a girlfriend because she can. You're gonna lose a girlfriend because she's gonna expect you to defend her in some way, shape, or form, and you're gonna back down because your mom taught you to be passive. My mom taught me to be passive, man. My dad taught me to attack. My dad was pretty much a fucking pit bull. Okay, my mom was more like a cat. She's more like Poppy, man. She's a kick back, laid back person. She got emotional. Don't get me wrong. She got mad, but most of the time she was kicked back and laid back. The only time my dad kicked back and laid back is when he's exhausted, man. He go lay down, crash out. Most of the time, my mom was kicked back, laid back. She'd do the housework. She didn't have to cook for us after a certain age, man, because we all went and got our shit ourselves. You know, after we reached a certain age, 9, 10 years old, my mom would cook us breakfast and send us off to school. That was it, man. Make our lunch and that was it, man. We come home for dinner, man. Make it yourself, man. There's pizza in the oven. There's hamburgers in there. There's eggs. There's rice. There's it. You know, if we didn't know how to cook something, she would come and show us. Or my dad would come and show us. Both know how to cook. Shit, my dad could cook like a fucking. My dad could grill like a hell. I mean, he'd do a hell of a turkey too, man. He was a big griller and a hell of a turkey maker, man. My mom had some good liver and onions, freaking. Uh, uh, uh. I mean, she was a cook, man. She could cook. I learned to cook from her. I learned how to grill from my dad, and then I took it off to the next level by myself. But like I said, if you don't have a male and female influence in your life, if you're mostly female, you're gonna be passive. Your testosterone is gonna drop because you're not out there playing sports, or you're not allowed to go get rough and tumble with some other guys. Or if you do, you're at either that end of the spectrum or you're at the other end of the spectrum, to where you're just telling your mom, fuck off, and you ain't got no dad to give you a slap across the head and tell you what the fuck. It's either one extreme or the other. There's no middle of the ground with you guys, man. That's this generation coming up. And I'm talking about the men, man. You guys don't like to hear it. It's all you hear is I got an education. Yeah, okay, dude. Okay, dude. Let's go to the library and see if you know how to use a freaking card index, and see if you know how to use a microfiche. Now that's how you do research, man. All these digital copies, I've been looking for hard copies of all these digital copies that are running around out here. Anyway, I'm bored. I'm done. I'll probably drop this on Facebook. Nobody will watch it. I don't give a shit. It's just a rant. But if somebody does watch it, lay some comments in there, man. I don't give a shit. If you start getting rude, I'm gonna tell you to fuck off. Seriously, man. I'm gonna tell you to fuck off. Okay? I hate being called names, but when you start getting downright rude, I'm gonna come back just as rude. Believe me, I will give as much as I take. I'm an old man. I'm not some young punk. I'm an old Marine, man. I've been called worse by better people, man. So you can insult me all you want. I've been called worse by better people. Because if you coming in here just to be an insulting person or an idiot, or just talking outside your neck, or if you're 5 and 10 years old and you're coming up here and talking outside your neck, and I find out you're 5 or 10 years old, I'm gonna tell you, man, you're too young to be here, man. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't have an age restriction on it for 18 for a reason, man. I ain't going after no little kids. I don't want no little kids coming up here and acting like they're adults. That's a quick way. I can find that out real quick. Not even by looking at you, just by the way you respond. If you respond like a child, I'm gonna assume you're a child. I get a lot of childish shit on here, man. I mean, like 10, 11, 12 year olds coming in here and thinking they run everything, man. You don't. Sorry, guys. You don't. You ain't even old enough to buy alcohol. You're not old enough to buy cigarettes. You're probably already doing it if you're on this. You're on these things doing this. That don't mean you're an adult. That don't mean you know what you're talking about. Because per se, if you're young and you walk outside and you got a mouth like that, and you walk up to somebody who's older than you, you're probably gonna get punched. You're probably gonna get bullied, especially if you go up on older people, man. Older children in your age group. That's a good way to get slapped in the head. At least when I was growing up, that was the way you got slapped in the head by the old heads. And believe me, when I was growing up, we hung out with everybody's brothers and sisters, and they were older than us. Okay, and we hung out with their friends, and they hung out with us. So we got out of line. The older heads come slap us in the head. What the fuck, man? The fuck, man? That's not even the dope heads, man. Come slap you in the head, man. What the fuck you doing, dude? I don't mean shoot dope. I mean smoking weed and drinkers. I have to differentiate between that crap now because everyone takes it the wrong way. Nobody has a logical thought in their head. They all want to micromanage everything. They're micro right now. What the fuck is that? That's some bullshit pseudo intellectual term made by some college professor. They're probably freaking it's probably a diversity hire number one. Probably plagiarized the whole doctorate and master's thesis. Because they've already been finding that out now. Like I said, I'm out. Peace out. Semper Fi. Love you guys. And I do mean it. I love everybody. I don't care. But if I'm talking shit about somebody, that means I care, man. It means I see you doing something wrong, and I care. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, then I'm, then I love you. If I'm wrong, then tell me about it. All right? Then if it's true, then I'll acquiesce. Anyway, peace out. Love you guys. Semper Fi. End stream. End.